My name's Sue Grant, and we are just about to do a short interview with Werner, who owns the Malo 39 ZARZURA, and whilst she hasn't done Bluewater, he and his wife cruise extensively in Northern Europe from May to September every year, and he has some really fascinating insights into his yacht and also living aboard and living well aboard. Good morning. Werner, it's really kind of you to join us for the World Cruising Club Cockpit Conversations and to talk about your lovely Malo 39 ZARZURA. And so you were the original owner, yes? The original owners?
Yes, we are the owners, the only owners since we got the boat from the yacht, yacht, yes.
And that was in 2002, I think.
In 2003, we ordered it on 2002. It was built in this year, and we took it in spring 2003.
Fantastic.
At the yacht.
And you sail her as a couple?
Yes,
the two of you.
My wife and me.
And how easy is it sailing ZARZURA, the two of you?
Because all lines go back to the cockpit to manage the sails.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this wonderful targa bow. There's a traveler on top where the line from the
main sheet
from the main goes. So there's no obstacle in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And you have 4 winches there. We have 3 sails: Genua, fog, and the mainsail.
Oh, so you have you have the Genoa, you have the staysail, you have the mainsail. So three, yeah, very good. And furling, I think.
Yes, all furling. Yes.
Yeah.
And then all that can be done from the cockpit.
Perfect.
So I'm sitting at the steering wheel, and my wife is doing the. We don't have electrical winches. Because it was my idea that we have to manage the boat with our own forces.
Right, yes. Okay.
If I have heard of people where this electric motor to take in the sail didn't work, so they have to go in front and have a little winch to put it in, and that's not good. So you have to be able to manage the boat with your own forces. Yeah.
No, I think that's a very good principle.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've sailed her in Northern Europe, and
Yes.
Have you thought of going to the Med or across the Atlantic with an ark or something like that?
We have been there many years ago when we were still working. We rented boats in the Mediterranean, in Polynesia, in the Caribbean, and we know all these places. We intended to go to the Mediterranean, but we wanted to stay 1 year at the wharf. Perhaps we have to make any changes.
Right.
So we got a wonderful birthplace there in a new marina, and we got the possibility to leave the boat in the neighbor bay in a place where they make winter keeping. And then we sailed from there the first year along the Swedish west coast through the cherries and these wonderful places.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, and up to Oslo, and then back. And we said, well, we'll stay another year. And so we stayed 20 years.
Wow. And so every winter, ZARZURA comes ashore in undercover.
Yes.
Yeah. So she must be that preserves a yacht really, really well. So she must be in great shape.
That's right.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen? There's a nice video.
That Magnus did. Yeah.
Yeah, Magnus did it. Yes.
Yeah.
You see how it looks outside and inside.
Yeah. Fabulous. And so you spend a lot of time on the boat. I think from May until September. So what about the storage on board the boat? Because that's always a big thing, isn't it, when you're spending a lot of time and living aboard?
In the cockpit there are 2 call it lockers or so,
Mm-hmm.
where you can put things deep in.
Yeah.
Well, you can hide there a whole family of refugees if you like. Now it was covered with. We have a diving equipment, and we have all the spare sails and things are in there, and all the ropes and so on. And in the back locker behind the seat, navigational seat, we have 2 bicycles and many other things, and fenders and things like that.
Right.
So there's plenty of room. Inside, we have on the starboard, we have a sofa. And beneath the sofa, you have plenty of space where you could store supplies for the whole season, if you like.
Wow.
And then on the side there are small lockers, and in the front there's the main sleeping area is the front, and there are two things to draw out, or to drawers to take out and put things in.
Oh, right, okay.
There's we never have used all spare lockers or things to store things in it.
You must be virtually unique.
Really,
I think most owners just fill their boats up, but you're obviously disciplined. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that was no problem at all.
And so when you were looking in 2001, 2002 for a new boat, why did you choose the Marlow 39?
It was the design inside.
Mm-hmm.
I love to come down, having the pantry and the navigational seat on one side, then the saloon with grips to hold and go on the roof along when the boat is moving heavily.
Yeah.
And the how it is made with it's all in mahogany, and it's a wonderful handicrafted. It's incredible. They do it all by hand. We have visited the wharf while it was being built, and we saw when there was one sitting who built the navigational seat that was more all handmade.
Wow.
It was not prefabricated.
Really?
Yes, and you see that.
Yeah.
Because it fits wonderfully. Yeah.
And
that was impressive.
right. Okay.
We have seen that before. We have seen many of these Mediterranean boats, very light, and if you sail it in strong winds, they become soft.
Yeah.
Sail the boat soft, that you cannot do with Malo.
Okay. And so.
Outside, it's that.
And so, as you're spending your summers on board, a really important thing about cruising is the sort of living on board, the liveaboard aspect of living. So you talked about having bicycles on board. How is it living on board ZARZURA in the summers? Is it comfortable? Is it?
Yes, we loved it. We had everything we wanted on board.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we don't have a dishwasher and things. We have to do that by hand. But we are only 2, so we don't use so much dishes and things like that. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's quite a different life, of course. But you have all, and we felt comfortable, and you have this wonderful cockpit, and you can cover it with a don't know how you call it.
A canopy, a cockpit canopy.
Yeah. Around the cockpit, so when it is raining or so, you are sitting dry, and you have enough places to open the windows up to the roof and get fresh air. Mm-hmm. We have a heating, of course, in every room. We have a built-in, that's extra thing, a douche in the front,
shower
on the side,
mm-hmm.
a shower, yes, and where we can hang up wet things.
Mm-hmm. When you're cruising, you will be spending a lot of time, but you'll be exploring new places and going to new ports. So how do you typically do that? Do you spend a week in a place, and go off exploring on bicycles and all of that?
Yes, we of course we have anchoring places where there's not much room to move about. We have our dinghy, we can go ashore, but we don't make. Well, it's a small island usually. You go on top of the sea, see around and see the landscape and the other small skerries around. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we were at small places where perhaps 3-4 boats can stay on a pier, and there we walked around, and if there is something interesting around, we took the bicycles and go there. Stayed perhaps 3-4 days or so. Sometimes only 1 day. It depends on how nice it was. But if we are in Bergen, perhaps in Norway, Bergen, you usually stay a little longer to move around, to see things and so on. Yeah?
Sounds wonderful.
And yeah, it's great. But you come, the further you go north, the more, einsam. It's not many people there.
Yeah.
And you always have a place where you can stay, and people are usually friendly, and you have this wonderful landscape, this snow-covered hills in the background, and the sea before you, and that's such a nice
Sounds wonderful.
area, landscape. Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean they are great boats, and I love the way that you have the bar at the back and the main sheet on it, so that it's totally out of the cockpit. That is such an amazing thing on the Malo.
You know Marlows.
Yeah, yeah.
You know Marlows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To whom shall I tell them something?
Well, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for talking about ZARZURA, and I'm sure we'll speak again soon. Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.